I was in an F4 forum and I saw a post about TVXQ and I was like, I love them. I would download all these videos on 56K speed. It's not even broadband internet. There was no YouTube then. You probably judged us and thought to yourself, why would you listen to that music you don't even understand? And we got that a lot. So even when there were no K-pop artists and those things, I would be hosting these events with fellow fangirls. Annyeonghaseyo, Chingadul. This is Kring Kim, and thank you, Kringles, for joining me in this new video. So I am here in Gwangju right now, waiting for the SBS Super Concert to start. And while I'm killing time, I will do a short story time for you guys because I have a lot of new followers who probably don't know my history and how I got into this whole thing. And a lot of you have been asking, how did I become a K-pop fan and blah, 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 blah. So here's a short and quick story and short history lesson on how I became a K-pop fan and a Hallyu trash. So I always say that I started to become a fan in 2004 around May. So that's exactly like 15 years ago. May 2004, I became a Tongbang Shingi or TVXQ fan. And I didn't really know. I saw it in an F4 forum because a lot of the first generation K-pop fans in the Philippines actually started as Meteor Garden and F4 fans back in the day. So I was in an F4 forum and I saw a post about TVXQ and I was like, I love them. So that's when I became a fan and I searched online for fans of TVXQ, and a lot of my friends don't know who they were, so I looked for other people and I met this girl. Her name was Mishi, and we started this group called TVXQ Philippines. We had this forum called TVXQ World, and then blah, 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 blah. We had the first TVXQ fan gathering in August 2004. You know, it was actually called an eyeball before. So fast forward to 2005, I actually kind of like jumped to the J-pop fandom. I became a Johnny's fan. So I kind of like took a break from K-pop, but not really, because if I remember correctly, even when I was not super duper active in Cassiopeia, and remember, Super Junior didn't even debut at this time. I was still very aware of what was going on in the K-entertainment industry. I would watch these shows and I would download all these videos on 56K speed. It's not even broadband internet. There was no YouTube then. So it was very hard for us to become fans, but we pushed through and we made it, and I'm still here. So I think that's also like how the K-pop fandom started in the Philippines somewhat. But that's what I always say, that I'm a TVXQ fan first. But actually before that, I watched in 2002 or 2003 this movie called Kpop, which is My Sassy Girl. And that's when I actually was awakened with this whole K-entertainment thing, and I became super obsessed with Korean films, which I used to just watch, and not even DVD, bootleg CDs. So I would watch them on bootleg CDs, and yeah, I would watch like 3-4 movies every weekend. That's how obsessed I was. And I wasn't a fan of dramas. Until now, I think I would prefer Korean films over dramas any day in a heartbeat. But in 2004, I watched this movie called The Classic, and it changed my life. It was directed by this director named Kwak Tae-yong, and I realized at that time I wanted to become a film director. So I took writing and directing more seriously after I watched that film. So it was like kind of at the same time with this whole K-pop and K-movie obsession. So even when I was in the J-pop fandom, I was still very much connected with the K-entertainment. And then in 2008, I became a Big Bang fan.
Of my favorite smilers is
I think that's what really got me super hooked But even before being a Big Bang fan, I was a fan of Korean variety shows. Like I was obsessed with this show called Family Outing with Yoo Jae-suk and Lee Hyori. So that's why I became a fan of Lee Hyori, because of that Korean variety show. So I got into Big Bang, and then I learned how to write and read Korean. I still don't speak it fluently, but at least, you know, at the time I was able to, yes, this is how it's written, blah, 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 blah. And then 2009, I brought it up with Mishi. I was like, Mishi, we should have a K-pop convention. I think it's about time. This was the time that 21 debuted, so Dara was kind of like, of course she's popular in the Philippines, so it became a bit more mainstream K-pop. And Nobody But You was also very famous in the Philippines, so we thought it was the time to get more people engaged in the fandom. So with the other core members of Cassiopeia, we started the Philippine K-pop convention in 2009, and it's still running. We were on our 10th year this year, and although I'm not so active anymore, a lot of like better people and really great volunteers are taking over and taking care of that event. So basically from 2003, 2004 until 2009, we were not, the fandom in the Philippines wasn't so connected. So we would like spaz on our own, and it's very, we held our own gatherings, which I used to host. So even when there were no K-pop artists and those things, I would be hosting these events with fellow fangirls. 2009 was such a big year as well, because not only in 2009 did we have K-pop convention, Happy, our Inang Reina, also announced that she was gonna have the Super Junior concert, and a lot of people hated her for it. A lot of people, like, you have to understand, in 2009, 2010, this whole K-pop thing was such a new thing. You know, like people didn't know what it was. If you weren't a fan, you probably judged us and thought to yourself, why would you listen to that music you don't even understand? And we got that a lot. And yet we still persevered, and we still stand, and we still slayed. And look at Happy now. You don't understand how much hate she got at the very, very beginning. And I think, you know, I'll interview her one of these days about that. But it was, this fandom was built on blood, sweat, and tears, to be honest. And in 2010, I met Jimmy Kim, my now husband and then boyfriend. And so I became more and more into the Korean culture, I guess, like by default, because my boyfriend was Korean, and now I'm married into a Korean family. So I guess like by 2012, I mean, it has become bigger and bigger, and we also got involved with this business, which brought in, I'm not gonna name the brand, but it was Korean accessories and Korean albums and Korean merchandise. I was the one, you know, talking to the malls for the leasing, etc. So my life has always, like since 2003, revolved around this whole Korean culture and Korean entertainment thing. And I'm just really, really very grateful that I get to do what I love because of it as well. And I mean, you know, some people might think, oh, you're just so lucky, you get to do this, sana all, blah, 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 blah. How come it's always you, blah, blah, blah. But you guys have to understand, it's not like that. Okay, whatever I have, whatever I get, we fought for it. There was a time in my life where I was like, you know what, by the time I'm this age, or in 2007, I was thinking, fuck, by 2010, if I'm still a K-pop fan, I don't know what to do with my life anymore. And look at me now. Look at me now. So I've stopped resisting. Because for a time I was like, I'm gonna stop becoming a fan. I cannot do this anymore. Like, I need to be more mainstream. I need to be a more mainstream host. I need to make content for like more mainstream issues and topics. But it's not me. I mean, that's part of me, but this is me as well. And I'm just so happy that I got to go back to YouTube, because I was a YouTuber from 2007 to 2013, but I wasn't really talking about K-pop or Korean entertainment or Korean culture or anything before. It was a totally different kind of content. But now that I am doing it on this channel, I'm so very grateful that I get to do it. And I'm so happy that I get to reach out to you guys, and hopefully, I mean, I produce crazy nonsense things, honestly. But I hope somehow my story and my, you know, I don't know, whatever. I hope I somehow inspire you. If that's the case, I mean, I think that's good enough. And I think I'll be doing more of these things, like more story times and such. I hope that you guys will continue to support me. And to those who are asking, until when am I gonna be a fan? Bitch, even I don't know. Maybe until the day I die. I don't know. But yeah, I'll be here for sure after all of these people have left the fandom. Once the hype goes down and you know it's not so cool anymore and many people will leave, I'm sure I will still be here. So that's for sure. That's for sure. So yeah, that's my short story time, and I hope you guys enjoyed my not so, I think it's kind of boring, but I hope you guys enjoy this story. And if you guys like it, I hope you share it and like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And I'll see you guys again. I'll go watch the SBS Super Concert now. So I'll see you guys again next time. 안녕.